Hello, and welcome to the 34th season of Sims 4 Survivor. This is Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen, where we have a brand new cast. It's a newbie season. I felt like we needed one, and to honor the newbies, we are going to be playing the first ever season of Survivor Borneo. Unsurprisingly, because we have a new pack, and I'm running out of Sims, this is mostly going to feature new Sims from Enchanted by Nature. And I guess just without further ado, let's introduce our cast. First up, we have the Fairies tribe here. Not composed entirely of fairies, but there is one in here. And that fairy is Nadia Kishka, who lives in Innisgreen, lives in Everdew. And we do have a little bit of stunt casting here because we also cast on the same tribe Nadia's ex-boyfriend, Joe Trader, the local kleptomaniac merchant, and also ex-boyfriend of Nadia Kishka. So it's a little bit of drama here. And we'll continue on with Innisgreen residents because we have Spruce Almighty, the ex-partner of Mother Nature. They initiated the Gnome War, I believe. I think that's a part of their lore. I don't know. Anyway, they're here. Next up, we have coming here from Nordhaven, we have Nora Loden of the Loden family. Her daughter just won last season, so perhaps Nora is going to be able to do pretty well as well. And then we have a first for Sims 4 Survivor because we have the first ever child sim competing here on Sims 4 Survivor. However, it's not any child. This is a ghost child, the only ghost child in the game. We have Edith, daughter of Alice. She drowned in a well, and now she's here competing on Sims 4 Survivor. Then next up, we have this skeleton over here who comes from Salvadorada. We went to one of the temples. We were scouring the area for new contestants, and we happened to find this guardian who was guarding the temple and offered them a spot on the cast, and here they are. We don't know their name, though, so we're just going to call them Skeleton, and it's fine. They're here. Next up, we have a gallery exclusive sim, but she is actually canonical to The Sims 4 because she is mentioned at least twice in the game. We have Miss Hell. She is a vampire. She is mentioned to have been the vampire that turned one Caleb Vitor into a vampire. And she is also mentioned in this item description for an item in the Werewolves game pack. So, you know, why not? Throw Miss Hell in here. And then our final member here is a sim that is coming from the future. Amit Relevart, he jumped into his time-traveling machine, and he went to the future and found none other than Iggy Pancakes, the unborn baby of Eliza and Bob. This version of Iggy was created for the promotion of Dream Home Decorator, whenever that came out. And so, Iggy, he's here. Our other tribe over here is the Gnomes tribe, where we have 8 other Sims. And Emmett didn't stop with Iggy. He also went back to the past and found none other than Princess Cordelia herself, who is coming in here to compete on Sims 4 Survivor. Another gallery exclusive sim. However, anybody that knows anything about The Sims 4 knows that Princess Cordelia has a very intensive lore in the game. There are multiple item descriptions that reference her escapades. She is also the ancestor of Arnessa Thebe, and by extension, also the ancestor of Hector Laurent, as well as Greta Laurent, and Jace Laurent, I believe is the name of their son. So yeah, Princess Cordelia, she's here. And then, of course, on the Gnomes tribe, we had to have Glenn Gnome, the gnome fanatic himself. Also runs the gnome stall in one of the neighborhoods in Innisgreen. So yeah, he's here. And then we have the Fairy Council liaison, Karen, who is here. You will find her in Everdew, usually, but she is here to compete on Sims 4 Survivor. And then a resident of Everdew, because we have Oberon Summerdream here. Member of the Summerdream family, the richest family in Innisgreen, and yet another fairy. Then our final resident of Innisgreen here is Todd Attenberry, the master apothecarist? Apothecarist? I don't know. Whatever, he does apothecary, and he's here. Then we have coming here from Ravenwood, we have Zipporah Gomez, the final member of the Gomez family to compete. Her husband has competed, her child has competed, her sibling has competed, and now it is Zipporah's time to compete. Then we have over here Atherin Reyes, who is a gallery exclusive sim. He was one of the sages of the magic realm. He was the sage of practical magic before retiring and giving up his position to Simeon. And then the final member of this tribe, we have Jasmine Holiday, who you may have seen during an event or two, because she tends to pop up as an NPC whenever there is some kind of event going on. All right, there you have it. That is our cast. As it's a newbie season, nobody has any boost to stats, and nobody really knows each other, with the exception of Joe and Nadia. I did give them a medium dislike to fit in with their lore, so that'll be fun. But without further ado, we can just start this season. On episode number 1, we start off on the Fairies tribe, where we have Nadia and Joe. They don't like each other, as I said, and then nothing really else going on. On the Gnomes tribe, also not really much going on, so we will just go to the first immunity challenge, and the winners are the Gnomes. So these 8 people, they are safe today. Let's go to the Fairies tribe. Let's see what's going on their beach. We have Edith and Miss Hell having a small fight. That is not surprising. Edith is a child, also a vengeful spirit, and Miss Hell also evil, so, you know. Then on the Gnomes beach, we have Jasmine and Todd bonding slightly, which has a lasting impact. We also have Karen and Jasmine having a major fight, which is not great for Jasmine, because Karen is impressing the rest of the team and does form an alliance. It is Karen, it is Oberon, it's Princess Cordelia, and Todd. So Todd is bonding with Jasmine, but does join an alliance that has currently Jasmine's #1 enemy on it. We'll see later how this alliance goes, whether it proves to be successful or not, but we're going to go to tribal with the Fairies tribe. All right, we got the Fairies here. We got Edith, we got Iggy, Joe, Miss Hell, Nadia, Nora, the Skeleton, and Spruce Almighty. It is time to vote. And the first vote is going to go to Nora. 1 vote Nora. Next vote goes to Joe. 1 vote Joe, 1 vote Nora, 6 votes left. And the next vote goes to Nora. That's 2 votes Nora, 1 vote Joe. And the next one goes to Joe. We're tied. 2 votes Joe, 2 votes Nora, 4 votes left. And the next vote goes to Joe. That is 3 votes Joe, 2 votes Nora, 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Joe. That is 4 votes Joe, 2 votes Nora, 2 votes left. Next vote goes to Nora. So that is 4 votes Joe, 3 votes Nora, 1 vote left. We could still tie here, but we do not. The first person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen, it is Joe Trader. Joe, the tribe has spoken. I imagine this is Nadia pulling in the votes to get rid of him. That makes sense. She doesn't want him here. Get rid of that fuckboy. He's gone. So the votes for Joe are Iggy, Miss Hell, Nadia, Nora, and Spruce. And then the Nora votes are Edith, Joe, and the Skeleton. Surprisingly enough, this fight between Edith and Miss Hell doesn't really do anything. Neither of them vote for each other. Neither of them receive any votes. But I guess Nadia is getting her way here, so good for her. All right, we're on episode 2. The Fairies tribe, they are down to 7 now. We now have Miss Hell and Edith with a mild dislike, and that's kind of it, okay? And then on the Gnomes tribe, we have this new alliance. We also have Oberon and Karen with a medium bond, as well as Princess Cordelia and Karen. Todd and Karen with a small bond. So I imagine Karen is the one controlling this alliance. Otherwise, we don't really have anything else going on, so it's pretty much just Karen. It's the Karen show. But reward is going to go to the Fairies. So congrats to them. They win, doesn't say. Okay, well, anyway, immunity is going to go to the Fairies as well. Not going to go back to tribal, good for them. But we will start by going on their beach. So we've got Nora and the Skeleton bonding slightly. Then we have Miss Hell and Spruce with a minor fight, or a small fight, which has a lasting impact. That's not great. Then we have the Skeleton getting injured, but gets treated and can stay in the game. I don't really understand how a skeleton can get injured, but okay. On the Gnomes tribe, we have Karen having a major meltdown. Oh no. Karen, things were looking so good for her, but is she taking her own game? I don't know. If she goes out here, that's going to be a wild 2-episode storyline for her. But we have Glenn and Sephora bonding slightly, which has a lasting impact. Okay. And then Oberon is going to leave the alliance. He does not like that Karen was having this major meltdown. He's like, I'm not taking a part of this. I'm going to leave. All right, let's find out who leaves next. Here we are at the second tribal council. We got Karen, we got Ethren, we got Glenn, Jasmine, Oberon, Princess Cordelia, Todd, and Sephora. It is time to vote. The first vote goes to Oberon. 1 vote, Oberon. Second vote goes to Sephora. 1 vote, Oberon. 1 vote, Sephora. And the next vote goes to Sephora. That's 2 votes, Sephora, and 1 vote, Oberon. 5 votes left. Next vote goes to Sephora. 3 votes, Sephora, and 1 vote, Oberon. And the next one goes to Oberon. We got 3 votes, Sephora, 2 votes, Oberon, 3 votes left. And the next one goes to Oberon. We're tied. 3 votes, Oberon, 3 votes, Sephora, 2 votes left. And the next one goes to Oberon. 4 votes, Oberon, 3 votes, Sephora, and 1 vote left. Once again, we could tie. And we do. The last one goes to Sephora. So we are 4-4 tied. So we're going to do a revote. And the first vote on the revote goes to Oberon. 1 vote Oberon. Second vote goes to Sephora. 1 vote Oberon. 1 vote Sephora. 4 votes left. And the next one goes to Oberon. So we got 2 votes Oberon. 1 vote Sephora. 3 votes left. And the next one goes to Oberon. That is 3 votes Oberon, 1 vote Sephora. And the next one goes to Sephora. So we got 3 votes Oberon, 2 votes Sephora, 1 vote left. If nobody flipped, then we're going to go to rocks, I think. The final vote goes to the second person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen. It is Oberon. Oberon, the tribe has spoken. Probably shouldn't have left that alliance, although he almost had the votes to say. But, yeah, I think he needed to, like, form something else if he was going to leave the alliance, but he didn't do that. And now he paid the price for it, so he's gone now. So votes for Oberon are Ethren, Glenn, Jasmine, Sephora. Votes for Sephora are Karen, Oberon, Princess Cordelia, and Todd. Oh, the alliance actually does vote with him. Interesting. However, Princess Cordelia is the one to flip on the revote. Everybody else sticks to their guns. Interesting. Princess Cordelia, she is here to play, willing to get rid of him, even though Karen was having this argument or like this meltdown that caused Oberon to leave. She does not turn on him, but he leaves regardless. So we'll move on to episode number 3. Tribes are tied once again. On the Fairies tribe, we now have Nora and Iggy with a mild dislike. I don't know why that's happening. We also have Nora and Nadia with a mild dislike. Miss Hel and Edith with a mild dislike as well. We do see that Nadia and Iggy have a small bond. We also have the Skeleton and Nora with a small bond. And that's kind of it. On the Nose tribe, we have this 4-person alliance down to 3 now that Oberon is gone. Karen is up to a 7 loyalty here. Nice. Princess Cordelia and Karen, they have a medium bond. Glenn and Karen have a medium dislike. Sephora and Karen have a medium dislike. Todd and Karen have a small bond. Todd and Glenn have a mild dislike. Jasmine and Karen have a mild dislike. And then we got Sephora and Glenn with a small bond. And that's pretty much it. So Glenn, not very well liked by this alliance. However, do they have the numbers? They are currently in the minority, but they could just pull 1 more person in and they'll be fine. We'll see. Reward is going to go to the Fairies again. They win the treasure chest, which contains fishing supplies, mask, snorkel, spear, flippers, and bait. Okay. But immunity is going to go to the Gnomes. We are trading immunity wins here on Innisgreen. That's pretty fun. Let's see what's going on the Fairies beach. Big episode for the Skeleton, because Edith and the Skeleton, they bond slightly, and Miss Hel and the Skeleton also bond slightly. Which is kind of funny, because they were the ones that were fighting. So the Skeleton, I don't really know what they're gonna try to pull off with these 2 people, but, you know, never hurts to be liked. On the Gnomes beach, we have Karen and Glenn with a major fight, and a new alliance is formed. It is Karen, it's Ethren, it's Jasmine, Princess Cordelia, and Todd. Interesting. So Todd probably pulling in Jasmine after they had their that bond in the first episode. Karen though was fighting with Jasmine, so that's a little interesting. But I think Glenn just cementing his spot on the bottom of this tribe. Who is the other person not in this alliance? It is Zipporah. She did almost get voted out, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But anyway, let's go to tribal. Right, we got the fairies here, back at tribal. At 7, gonna go down to 6. It is time to vote. First vote goes to the skeleton. 1 vote, skeleton. Second vote goes to Edith. 1 vote, Edith, and 1 vote, the skeleton. Next vote goes to the skeleton. 2 vote, skeleton, 1 vote, Edith. And the next vote goes to Edith. We're tied. 2 votes, Edith, 2 votes, skeleton, 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to the skeleton. We got 3 votes for the skeleton, 2 votes Edith, 2 votes left. And the next vote goes to Edith. We are tied 3-3 for Edith and the skeleton. 1 vote remains. And the final vote goes to the third person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor. Innisgreen, it is Edith. Edith, the tribe has spoken. The first child to compete did not do that well. Unfortunate. But does kind of make sense that she goes out here. She is a vengeful spirit. She is also so much younger than all these other people. So she doesn't really relate to them in the same way. And you know, you don't want to have like a vengeful spirit in the game. You never know what she's gonna do. I don't think this is a bad move for anybody. It is Miss Hell, Nadia, Nora, and the skeleton who vote for Edith. And then Edith, Iggy, and Spruce vote for the skeleton. Which I think is kind of weird because I thought Nadia and Iggy were going to vote together because they were kind of bonding, but I guess not. I can still see them forming something, but I guess we're going to have to just wait and see. All right, episode number 4. We have lost 3 people so far. On the Fairies Beach, we've got Nora and Iggy with a medium dislike. I don't know why they don't like each other, but okay. Nadia and Iggy, they have a small bond. Nora and Nadia with a mild dislike. Maybe that's why Nadia and Iggy are bonding, because they don't like Nora. And that's kind of it. Okay. Even though the skeleton and Miss Hell were bonding, they still just have a slight bond. So, okay. On the Gnomes tribe, we have this 3-person alliance. We have this 5-person alliance. Princess Cordelia and Karen seem to be locking in. They have a strong bond now. Glenn and Karen, they have a strong dislike now after their fight. And then Zipporah and Karen have a medium dislike. So Karen just pulled in everybody that she doesn't have a dislike with into this alliance. All right, then we got Todd and Glenn with a medium dislike. Todd and Karen with a small bond. And Zipporah and Glenn with a small bond. The 2 people on the bottom. Glenn and Ethrin with a small bond. Okay. And Zipporah and Ethrin with a mild dislike. We also have Princess Cordelia and Jasmine with a mild dislike. So this 5-person thing, I think it's very shaky. Jasmine already at a loyalty of 4. I think she could jump ship. We'll see. Reward is going to go to the gnomes. Good for them. This is the SOS reward challenge. That one is so fun. I wish they'd bring that back. But immunity is going to go to the fairies. We continue trading immunity wins. That is fantastic. Let's go to the fairy beach. We have Nadia and Spruce finding something in common. Also Nadia impressing the rest of the team. Honestly, I think Nadia is by far the strongest player on this tribe. She is definitely doing the best. On the Gnomes Beach, we have Jasmine and Todd with a major fight. Oh no. Not the 2 people who were bonding in the last episode, but this causes Todd to leave the 5-person alliance. So we have our first casualty of that. Honestly, kind of surprised that Todd is the one to leave and not Jasmine, because she doesn't really like anybody in this alliance. And Todd does have this other alliance with Karen and Princess Cordelia, but I don't know. All right, we're back at Tribal. We got the gnomes here. They're going to lose another member. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Jasmine. 1 vote Jasmine. Next vote goes to Jasmine. 2 votes Jasmine. 5 votes left. And the next vote goes to Zipporah. 2 votes Jasmine, 1 vote Zipporah, 4 votes left. And the next one goes to Zipporah. We're tied. 2 votes Jasmine, 2 votes Zipporah, 3 votes left. Next one goes to Zipporah. 3 votes Zipporah, 2 votes Jasmine, 2 votes left. And the 4th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen, it is Zipporah. Zipporah, the tribe has spoken. I guess that kind of makes sense. She was at the bottom, and nobody really wanted to work with her, aside from Glenn, who was also at the bottom. So yeah, she goes out here. Kind of predictable. Although actually I thought it was going to be Glenn, but it wasn't Glenn. Zipporah votes are Karen, Ethren, Jasmine, Princess Cordelia, and Todd. And then Glenn and Zipporah are the Jasmine votes. Glenn is in a lot of trouble. If they go back to tribal, I think he's just done. But I also think this alliance, it's shaky. It's shaky with them. I don't know how long it's gonna last. If Jasmine and Ethren realize that they're at the bottom, maybe they try to flip, but I highly doubt it. All right, episode 5, the tribes, they are even once again. On the Fairies tribe, we now have Spruce and Nadia with an unbreakable relationship. What? I guess them bonding in the last episode did a lot of things for them. That's good. Nadia and Icky also with an unbreakable relationship. Could this be a trio forming? The Nadia trio? I don't know, maybe. Nora and Icky still don't like each other. Skeleton and Icky don't like each other either now. We got Nadia and Miss Hell with a small bond. Spruce and Miss Hell with a mild dislike. And then we got not really anything. On the Gnomes tribe, we've got these alliances. They remain the same, except Todd is now out of this one. We got Princess Cordelia and Karen still with their strong bond. People still don't like Glenn, except Ethren. Ethren likes Glenn. Then we got Todd and Karen with a small bond, and Princess Cordelia and Jasmine with a mild dislike, Todd and Jasmine with a mild dislike. Nah, not really anything at the end here. Reward is going to go to the gnomes. They are going to win some fruit and chickens. Nice. But immunity is going to go to the gnomes also. We continue trading wins. That makes sense. Gnomes safe today. And the fairies are going to go to tribal, so we'll start on their beach. We have the skeleton impressing the rest of the team. We also have Nora and Spruce with a major fight. And everybody forms an alliance aside from Nora. So, predictable tribal tonight, I think. Also, like, nobody likes Nora anyway, so yeah, that kind of tracks. On the Gnomes tribe, Todd has a major meltdown. He does not like that Jasmine was treating him that way. Still upset about it, and now he's kind of crashing out over it, apparently. But Ethren and Todd, they do find something in common. They're both interested in, like, apothecary and potions and stuff like that. That kind of tracks, right? All right, we're back at tribal. The fairies here are on their 3rd tribal, right? Oh, no, wait a minute. 2nd tribal. No, wait, that's right. 3rd tribal. All right, it is time to vote. And the first vote is going to go to Nora. 1 vote Nora. 2nd vote goes to Nora as well. 2 votes Nora. 3rd vote goes to Nora. 3 votes Nora. 3 votes left. And the 4th vote goes to Miss Hell. 3 votes Nora. 1 vote Miss Hell. 2 votes left. And the 5th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen. It is Nora. Nora, the tribe has spoken. Nobody liked her on her tribe. It was kind of doomed from the get-go. Everybody immediately was not vibing with her. Perhaps it was because her daughter just won. Maybe they immediately started targeting her and it was an uphill battle from there. But either way, she gets like massively turned on here. Everybody decides to turn on her. So yeah, Nora, she's gone. It's a unanimous vote. Everybody votes for Nora, except Nora votes for Miss Hell. And that's kind of that. We'll move on to episode number 6. If we follow the trend, then the gnomes are going to lose immunity and go to tribal tonight. But you never know. If the fairies do lose, then this 5-person thing is going to have to turn on one another. In which case, I think it's going to be Miss Hell or the skeleton leaving, probably. On the beach, we got this alliance. Nadia is at a loyalty of 7. She doesn't want to get rid of anybody. But we have Spruce and Nadia with an unbreakable relationship. Nadia and Iggy with 1. Skeleton and Miss Hell, they have a small bond. Spruce and Miss Hell have a mild dislike. Nadia and Miss Hell have a small bond. Skeleton and Nadia have a mild dislike. In which case, I think Skeleton probably goes out here if they lose, because Nadia kind of has all the power. Then we just got some slight bonds at the end. On the Gnomes tribe, we have alliances remain the same. Todd and Glenn now with an extreme hatred. Oh no. We also have Todd and Princess Cordelia with a strong dislike. What? But they're in this alliance together. That is crazy. I guess because Todd had that major meltdown. So maybe it is Todd's time to go? They might turn on him, but I think they should just take out Glenn if they can. We do have Princess Cordelia and Karen with a strong bond. We have Todd and Jasmine with a medium dislike. Glenn and Karen with a medium dislike. Todd and Etherin now with a small bond after bonding in the last episode. Then we got Etherin and Karen with a mild dislike. Ooh. And Glenn and Etherin with a small bond. Maybe the men on this tribe decide to link up Etherin, Todd, and Glenn and turn on Karen and Princess Cordelia. And Jasmine, I guess, also. We also have Princess Cordelia and Jasmine with a mild dislike. This is so shaky, this final 5 turn 4 alliance. I don't think they're gonna last at all. And it's not looking great for them entering the merge, which I believe is gonna be the next episode, because they do have a lot of negative relationships on this tribe. Reward is gonna go to the fairies. They're gonna get a chocolate bar. Good for them. But immunity is gonna go to the gnomes. Wow. Glenn just barely making the merge, I think. It's going to be interesting to see what the fairies are going to do here. On the tribe, we have Iggy and Miss Hell finding something in common, which has a lasting impact. We also have the Skeleton and Spruce bonding strongly, which has a lasting impact. And then Miss Hell is impressing the rest of the team. Interesting. So the 2 people who seem to be at the bottom of the tribe, they recognize that they're at the bottom and they are trying to save themselves. Now the question is going to be, is it going to work? Maybe. I mean, somebody has to go. On the Gnomes tribe, we have Etherin and Glenn bonding strongly. Look at Etherin. He is maybe trying to make a power move here, trying to flip on the women, trying to pull in Glenn, who's at the bottom. Todd is also leaving the Women's Alliance. Or the Women's Alliance. He's leaving the 3-person alliance with Karen and Princess Cordelia, which is now going to be a final 2. So, yeah. Things are kind of shifting on the Gnomes tribe. Fairies, they are back at tribal. Back-to-back tribals for them. The first time we have back-to-back tribals on this season. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Nadia. 1 vote Nadia. Second vote goes to the Skeleton. 1 vote Nadia, 1 vote Skeleton. 3 votes left. And the next vote goes to Iggy. 1 vote Iggy, 1 vote Nadia, 1 vote Skeleton. 2 votes left. And the next vote goes to the Skeleton. 2 vote Skeleton, 1 vote Iggy, 1 vote Nadia, and 1 vote left. We could tie here. The final vote goes to Nadia. We are tied. We are 2 for 2. The vote against Iggy goes down the trash. So we're going to do a revote. It is going to be Nadia or Skeleton. And the first vote on the revote is going to go to the Skeleton. 1 vote, Skeleton. Second vote goes to Nadia. 1 vote Nadia, 1 vote Skeleton, 1 vote left. And the 6th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen is going to be the Skeleton. Skeleton, the tribe has spoken. Yeah, I never thought Nadia was going to go here. I don't really know what that was all about, but oh well. It's kind of unfortunate because I feel like if these 5 would have won the challenge, then they probably are the final 5 of the season because they were far stronger than the other tribe, the Gnome tribe. But Skeleton gets unlucky here. They do lose the challenge, and Skeleton in turn loses the game. All right, it is Miss Hell and the Skeleton who vote for Nadia, the 2 people at the bottom. Then we got Iggy and Nadia voting for the Skeleton, and then Spruce is the Iggy vote randomly. Okay, everybody votes the same on the revote except Spruce, who can't vote for Iggy, so they vote for the Skeleton. Interesting. So this 3-person thing that was potentially forming between Nadia, Iggy, and Spruce, that does not seem to be happening anymore. I don't know, but we'll move on to episode 7, where we have the merge. Here we have the Naturopaths tribe. The merge tribe. And the people who make the merge are Karen, Etherin Reyes, Glenn Gnome, Iggy Pancakes, Jasmine Holiday, Miss Hell, Nadia Kishka, Princess Cordelia, Spruce Almighty, and Todd Attenberry. All right, should we do a little winner prediction? I think it is kind of a 2-horse race between Karen and Nadia. I think it's just going to depend on which tribe wins out, in which case I think Nadia has a very good shot at winning. Because I do think the fairies are the stronger tribe in terms of loyalty. But sometimes you just need numbers, not loyalty. So I don't know. I guess we're just going to have to see what happens here. All right, on the beach, let's look over our alliances. We have Karen and Princess Cordelia in a final 2. We have Karen, Ethrin, Jasmine, and Princess Cordelia in a 4-person alliance, which is not super strong, but it's not like super weak either. We also have Iggy, Miss Hell, Nadia, and Spruce. They have a very strong alliance. It's a 7 strength. Yeah, I don't think they are breaking up at all. I feel like this is the Taki 4 of the season. Relationships. We have Spruce and Nadia with an unbreakable relationship. So do Nadia and Iggy. Todd and Glenn have their extreme hatred still. Princess Cordelia and Karen, they have a strong bond. I feel like there should be an unbreakable relationship at this point, but it'll probably be one in the next episode. So I'm not worried about this at all. Todd and Princess Cordelia have a strong dislike. Todd and Ethrin have a medium bond. Todd and Jasmine have a medium dislike. Ethrin and Karen have a medium dislike. That's not great. Ethrin is so ready to jump ship because he also has a medium bond with Glenn. I think he wants to do a man's thing. I think he wants to turn on the women. He sees Karen as a power player, knows that he's at the bottom of this Gnomes Alliance. Although Jasmine, not really with them either. This could easily collapse. I would not be surprised if when we go back to the beach, this is just done. But Miss Hell and Icky, they have a medium bond as well. So good for them. That is after they were bonding in the last episode. But immunity is going to go to Glenn. Wow. Honestly, he might have needed it because he was definitely at the bottom of his tribe. And I think the fairies would have just jumped on that. So Glenn wins the first immunity of the season, the first individual immunity of the season, I should say. And in doing so, potentially saving himself. Nice job, Glenn. On the beach, we have Princess Cordelia with a major meltdown. Oh no. The merch, it's getting to her. That's not great. Glenn and Iggy, though, bond slightly. And Karen and Glenn also find something in common. That is interesting. Karen and Glenn have not been together at all throughout this entire game. But Jasmine, she is out of this alliance. And we have a merge alliance, which is very random because it's Ethrin, it's Todd, and they pull in Miss Hell. What? Why would they not pull in like Glenn? Because they've been bonding with him a lot more. They don't even know Miss Hell. But as you can see, she's a loyalty of 4. I don't think she's in this, actually. Todd, though, resting at camp to restore his energy. I think Todd is gone here, but it could also be Princess Cordelia. In which case, Karen, probably not winning anymore. But let's just go to Tribal, the first merged Tribal of the season. All right, here we are. We got Karen, we got Ethrin, we got Glenn, Iggy, Jasmine, Miss Hell, Nadia, Princess Cordelia, Spruce, and Todd. Glenn has the necklace, cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible to be the merch boot here. Also not going to make the jury, I believe. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Karen. 1 vote Karen. Second vote goes to Nadia. 1 vote Karen, 1 vote Nadia. Next vote goes to Karen. 2 votes Karen, 1 vote Nadia. 7 votes left. And the next vote goes to Jasmine. 2 votes Karen, 1 vote Jasmine, 1 vote Nadia. 6 votes left. And the next vote goes to Jasmine. We're tied. 2 votes Karen, 2 votes Jasmine, 1 vote Nadia. And the next vote goes to Karen. 3 votes Karen, 2 votes Jasmine, 1 vote Nadia. And the next one goes to Nadia. 3 votes Karen, 2 votes Jasmine, 2 votes Nadia, and 3 votes left. And the next one goes to Nadia. We're tied. 3 votes Karen, 3 votes Nadia, 2 votes Jasmine, and 2 votes left. Very split vote here. The next one goes to Karen. 4 votes Karen, 3 votes Nadia, 2 votes Jasmine, and 1 vote left. We could tie. It could be Karen. And the final vote goes to the 7th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen. It is Karen. Wow, Karen, the tribe has spoken. I thought she was in a great spot, but apparently not. If they were going to shoot that direction, I thought it was going to be Princess Cordelia, but they saw that Karen was the head of the snake. They went for her. I imagine this is probably the fairies pulling off this move, and they probably just pulled in somebody, I don't know. But yeah, massive merch boot here. The trajectory of the season is completely changing now. All right, so the votes are as follows. We've got Glenn, Iggy, Miss Hell, Nadia, and Spruce. So that is the fairies plus Glenn voting for Karen. Then we got Karen, Jasmine, Princess Cordelia voting for Nadia. That is the 4-person alliance minus Ethrin. And then Ethrin and Todd vote for Jasmine. That's that newly formed 3-person alliance, but obviously Miss Hell not voting with them. The Gnomes tribe, they crumble here. The Underdog Fairy tribe, they take over. And I imagine they're going to be the final 4 of this season now. All right, we're at episode 8. We got the final 9 here. Karen, she's gone, but we've made it to the jury. How's our relationships now? We got this alliance down to 2. This alliance is going to fall apart, I think, for sure. This alliance still very loyal. Everybody at a 7, aside from Miss Hell, who's only 6. But I imagine she's going to go up soon. She's also at a 5 here in this new 3-person thing between her and Ethrin and Todd. So maybe she is like considering her options here. Interesting. Relationships, Todd and Glenn still hate each other. Princess Cordelia and Jasmine now hate each other. And then Nadia and Iggy have their unbreakable relationship. Nadia and Spruce also have theirs still. Todd and Jasmine now with an extreme hatred also. That is so upsetting. They had such a strong bond in the first episode and then they just like fell apart. Todd and Princess Cordelia, they have a strong dislike still. Iggy and Glenn have a medium bond now. Okay. So maybe this was Iggy's move. He's pulling in Glenn for this vote here. Interesting. Todd and Ethrin have a medium bond. Princess Cordelia and Miss Hell have a medium dislike. And then Glenn and Ethrin have a medium bond. Reward is going to go to Nadia. She wins a video from home and the chance to send a video home. Okay. I guess she sends one to Iris. Good for her. But immunity is going to go to Iggy. Congratulations. Good for Iggy. He's going to be safe tonight. Not that I think he needed it, but whatever. On the beach, we've got Ethrin and Spruce with a major fight. It has a lasting impact. And the Gnomes Alliance falls apart. That makes sense. Ethrin and Princess Cordelia, they don't even like each other. They were never going to work together. Yeah, this was never going to last. We do have a new merge alliance, though. It is Iggy, Nadia, and Spruce, the trio that I have been saying is a trio, but isn't actually a trio. But they pull in Glenn, which makes a lot of sense. Glenn just voted with them. Miss Hell kind of getting ousted here, but I think that's kind of obvious. I felt like she was at the bottom from the beginning, but I guess she's probably going to be fine for now, right? All right, we're back at Tribal. We're going to see who's going to be the first juror. Iggy has the necklace, cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It's time to vote. First vote goes to Princess Cordelia. 1 vote, Princess Cordelia. Second vote goes to Jasmine. 1 vote, Jasmine. 1 vote, Princess Cordelia. Next vote goes to Princess Cordelia. We got 2 votes, Princess Cordelia, and 1 vote, Jasmine. And the next vote goes to Princess Cordelia. 3 votes, Princess Cordelia. 1 vote, Jasmine. And the next one goes to Princess Cordelia. That is 4 votes, Princess Cordelia, 1 vote, Jasmine, and 4 votes left. And the 8th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen, first member of the jury. It is Princess Cordelia. Princess Cordelia, the tribe has spoken. Her game just crumbled at the merge here. She had that major meltdown. After that, nobody wanted to work with her. Then she loses Karen, her only ally left in the game, and now she's gone. It makes a lot of sense. Unanimous vote, though. That's kind of savage. But, you know. Everybody votes for Princess Cordelia. She throws a vote on Jasmine. And the past shall be in the past because she is gone now. All right, we're at episode 9. We got the final 8 here. On the beach, have the relationships changed? We do have this new alliance. Otherwise, not really much movement with the alliances. We did lose that one alliance also. And also, Princess Cordelia is gone now. Todd has an extreme hatred with both Glenn and Jasmine. Okay. Nadia has her unbreakable relationships with Iggy and Spruce. Iggy and Glenn have a strong bond. Glenn and Ethrin have a strong bond. Todd and Ethrin have a medium bond. Then we got Miss Hell and Iggy with a medium bond. Spruce and Ethrin with a medium dislike. And then Todd and Iggy with a mild dislike. So I think Todd is in trouble. Jasmine could also be in trouble because she doesn't really have anything going on. And Ethrin could be in trouble because he doesn't like Spruce. Because Spruce might want to use their relationships and get rid of him. But we'll see. Reward goes to Nadia, and she is gonna take Spruce with her on reward. Good for her. But immunity goes to Todd. Well, I thought for sure he was gonna go, but he saves himself with the immunity necklace, so he's gonna be safe tonight. Now, is it gonna be Jasmine or Ethrin? Let's find out on the beach. Ethrin and Iggy bond slightly. And Miss Hell, she realizes she's at the bottom of this 4-person thing, and so she dips. That's not good for her. I would say it would be fine if this trio didn't have Glenn, but we are at an 8 now. They have Glenn locked in, but Miss Hell is still in that 3-person thing, so she could be fine. I think it's just gonna be straight up Jasmine here, but let's see. Let's go to tribal. All right, we got the final 8 here. Todd has the necklace, cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Jasmine. One more Jasmine. Next vote goes to Glenn. One more Glenn. One more Jasmine. 6 votes left. And the next vote goes to Jasmine. 2 votes Jasmine. 1 vote Glenn. 5 votes left. And the next one goes to Jasmine. 3 votes Jasmine. 1 vote Glenn. And the next one goes to Jasmine. That is 4 votes Jasmine. 1 vote Glenn. And the 9th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen, second member of the jury. It is Jasmine. Jasmine, the tribe has spoken. She just didn't have any allies. She was the only person not in an alliance here at the end game. At the end game, what? At the merge. And so nobody was really looking out for her. Makes sense that she gets the boot here. It's a unanimous vote against her. She votes for Glenn, but, you know, she's gone. We'll just move on to episode number 10, where we have the final 7 here. Now, the question is going to be, are Ethrin, Miss Hell, and Todd going to be able to pull in Glenn? Because Ethrin does have a good relationship with Glenn. Todd hates Glenn, actually. But I don't know. Maybe Ethrin can flip Glenn and be like, hello, the fairies, they are in the majority here. We have to do something. All right, we now have this trio, actually now a trio, for real. They also have their alliance with Glenn, and then we have this other trio who are at the bottom for now, at the very least. Iggy and Glenn with an unbreakable relationship. Okay, Glenn, he's not flipping. There's no way. Todd and Glenn, extreme hatred. That makes sense. Spruce and Nadia with an unbreakable relationship. Nadia and Iggy as well. And then Glenn and Ethrin with a strong bond. Todd and Ethrin with a medium bond. Iggy and Ethrin with a medium bond. Oh. Ethrin with a surprisingly good social game here. I mean, he doesn't like Spruce, but everybody else seems to like him. Todd and Iggy with a medium dislike. Miss Hell and Iggy with a medium bond. I think Todd is the next to go, probably. Everybody likes Ethrin, so I think he could stick around. And I think people also kind of like Miss Hell. Like, I don't think she's in that much of a trouble. And I also don't think the fairy tribe is going to target her over any of the gnome boys. Reward is going to go to Nadia. She keeps winning these rewards. It's kind of crazy. But immunity is going to go to Spruce. Good for them. I don't really think they needed that, but might as well get it in case Todd wins another one. On the beach, Glenn and Nadia have a major fight. Oh no. It's not enough to have Glenn leave the alliance, but this could make Glenn flip. I don't think he will, but maybe. I think Iggy is going to lock him in, but we'll see. Honestly, Iggy might be taking over as the one to beat here. Nadia might have to turn on him, which I don't think she will. So yeah, Nadia, watch out. It might not be as secure as you think. All right, here we are at Tribal. We got the final 7. And Spruce has the necklace, cannot be voted for. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. First vote goes to Glenn. 1 vote Glenn. Second vote goes to Nadia. 1 vote Glenn. 1 vote Nadia. 5 votes left. Next vote goes to Todd. We got 1 vote Glenn, 1 vote Nadia, 1 vote Todd. And then we got another one for Todd. 2 votes Todd, 1 vote Glenn, 1 vote Nadia. 3 votes left. And the next one goes to Glenn. 2 votes Glenn, 2 votes Todd, 1 vote Nadia. 2 votes left. And the next one goes to Todd. 3 votes Todd, 2 votes Glenn, 1 vote Nadia, and 1 vote left. It's going to be Todd or it's going to be a tie. And the final vote goes to the 10th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen, 3rd member of the jury. It is Todd Attenberry. Todd, the tribe has spoken. That makes sense. I mean, even if they didn't dislike him, he also won an immunity when he needed it. So he does have that clutch factor. I feel like it makes sense to take him out here. And that Nadia vote is kind of random. I kind of want to see who cast that. So it is Glenn, Iggy, Nadia, Spruce, the four-person alliance. They vote for Todd. Miss Hell and Todd, they vote for Glenn. And then Etherin votes for Nadia. I think Etherin knows that he's screwed and that Nadia is probably the one to beat. So he's just throwing a vote on Nadia just to see what happens. Maybe trying to flip somebody. I don't know. We're in episode 11. We got the final 6 here. We got Etherin, Glenn, Iggy, Miss Hell, Nadia, and Spruce. I think Miss Hell is the next to go. Etherin could also be the next to go. But people still like him. So he might stick in here for another episode. Alliances. We've got this 3-person thing. We got the same alliance with Glenn also attached to it. And then now we have this final 2 between Etherin and Miss Hell. 2 people on the bottom. Unbreakable relationships. Iggy and Glenn. Spruce and Nadia. Nadia and Iggy. And now Iggy and Etherin. That is random, but okay. We also have Glenn and Etherin with a strong bond. Miss Hell and Iggy with a medium bond. Nadia and Glenn with a medium dislike. Miss Hell and Glenn with a mild dislike. And Iggy with a small bond toward Spruce. Honestly, Glenn might flip. I mean, I've been saying that, and Iggy has been locking him in, but he might actually flip now because he just had this fight with Nadia. He might not want to vote with her anymore. And he now has this like really strong bond with Etherin. So who knows? Maybe he flips. Oh, I think I forgot to say this. Spruce and Etherin have a strong dislike. Reward is going to go to Iggy. Iggy is going to take Glenn on reward. Tactical move by Iggy. Tries to lock in Glenn here. Okay, interesting. We do also have to remember that Iggy is the son of a Sims 4 Survivor winner because Eliza won Battle of the Seasons, right? So Iggy does have some insider knowledge. Immunity, though, goes to Iggy. Second win for him, right? If I remember correctly. This is the one where they're all on those planks, right? The one that Kelly Wigglesworth won. On the beach, we got Miss Hell and Nadia bonding slightly. Miss Hell trying to save herself, I guess. But Glenn is impressing the rest of the team. Good for you, Glenn. Does Miss Hell successfully save herself here? I don't know. It could be Etherin leaving. We'll see. Let's go to Tribal. We've got the final 6 here. Iggy has the necklace, cannot be voted for. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Miss Hell. 1 vote, Miss Hell. Second vote goes to Spruce. 1 vote, Miss Hell. 1 vote, Spruce. And the next vote goes to Miss Hell. 2 votes, Miss Hell. 1 vote, Spruce. And the next vote goes to Miss Hell. That is 3 votes, Miss Hell. 1 vote, Spruce. And 2 votes left. And the next vote goes to Spruce. We got 3 votes, Miss Hell. 2 votes, Spruce. 1 vote left. And the 11th person, voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen, 4th member of the jury, is Miss Hell. Miss Hell, the tribe has spoken. Not surprising that she goes out here. She did try to save herself, but was unsuccessful. But perhaps Nadia just wanted her to go out with a positive perception of her, so she would be a vote for her in the jury. I don't know, but either way, it didn't work out for her. She's gone. It is Glenn, Iggy, Nadia, Spruce who vote for Miss Hell. That's the 4-person alliance. And then Etherin and Miss Hell vote for Spruce. That checks out. We have a little bit of a pagonging here, I guess. Let's see if Etherin can save himself for 1 episode. Because we are here at episode 12. We got the final 5. We got Etherin, Glenn, Iggy, Nadia, Spruce. Etherin needs this immunity or he's done, I'm pretty sure. On the beach now, we just have the trio and then trio and Glenn. Unbreakable relationships are now Iggy and Glenn, Glenn and Etherin, Spruce and Nadia, and then Spruce and Etherin hate each other now. That's random. Nadia and Iggy have an unbreakable relationship, and Iggy and Etherin with an unbreakable relationship. That is interesting. So Iggy could theoretically flip on Nadia and Spruce if he feels like that would be a better move for him. He could link up with Glenn and Etherin, but honestly, I don't know if that is a good move for him. Because Etherin and Glenn, they could have some votes on the jury. Because the gnomes would wanna, I guess, vote for one of their own, potentially. I don't know. We do have Iggy and Spruce with a small bond, slight bond, respectively. I don't know why they are not bonding like at all, but okay. Etherin, he is gonna win reward. Good for him. He's gonna get a beer. Oh, this is when when Kelly went to the Survivor bar that they had to do because nobody wanted to play for a reward. But immunity is gonna go to Glenn. Good for him. Unfortunate for Atherin. I think that's his game done, but let's go to the beach. Let's actually see, because I do think Atherin has a path to survive if he flips Iggy, but I really, really doubt it. All right, what's going on? We got Nadia and Spruce bonding slightly. Atherin and Spruce bonding strongly, actually. Okay. Atherin putting in some work. Also, Atherin and Nadia finding something in common. He's trying, but I really don't think it's... Yeah, it's not really going to do anything, because, like, who are they going to vote instead? Iggy? That's not going to happen. We're tribal. We got the final 5 here. Glenn has the necklace. Cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. The first vote goes to Atherin. 1 vote, Atherin. Second vote goes to Atherin. 2 votes, Atherin. Third vote goes to Spruce. 2 votes, Atherin. 1 vote, Spruce. 2 votes left. And the 12th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen. 5th member of the jury. It is Atherin. Atherin, the tribe has spoken. He did try, and we commend him for that. He did play a pretty solid game, even though he wasn't really able to pull anything off. But he really hung in there for as long as he could, and, you know, 5th place, that's not too bad. It's a unanimous vote. Atherin votes for Spruce on his way out, but he's gone now. And we are entering the finale with the final 4 here. First on the board, we have Glenn Gnome, the sole gnome member remaining. Seems kind of fitting that he would be the sole gnome member left on the board, but he's not winning this game at all. There's no way. Too many people on the jury do not like him. He is not a part of this trio of Iggy, Nadia, and Spruce. So he's going to go out unless he goes on an immunity run, which, you know, I guess could happen. He did win the last one, and he did win 2, right? I don't remember. But even if he makes it to the end, I don't think he's winning, so yeah. But he's here. Now we got Iggy Pancakes, who I do think has a good shot at winning. I think it is kind of a 2-horse race between him and Nadia. Iggy also has had probably the best social game so far of the season. He was liked by everybody. He had very strong relationships. He has a really strong one with Glenn, a really strong one with Nadia here. He doesn't really have that strong of a relationship with Spruce, but, you know, that probably doesn't even matter. And he also just sent Atherin out of the game with a really strong relationship with him. So I think Iggy is probably the front runner right now. However, Nadia Kishka is also a potential winner here. I think she could definitely win. I do kind of worry that she is going to take Iggy to the end and potentially lose to him. But we'll see, I guess. Otherwise, I think she's kind of locked in for the final 2. Unless Glenn somehow goes on a run and takes Iggy with him to the end or something. But I'm pretty sure Glenn is going to go out in 4th, in which case Nadia is locked in for the final 2 because she has a strong relationship with both Iggy and Spruce. And Iggy and Spruce don't really have any relationship, even though they work together this entire game. But then our final member here, Spruce Almighty. I really do not think Spruce is winning either, unless they go on a run or something. I don't know. They could win both immunities, and if they take Glenn to the end, maybe they win. But I don't think it's in the cards for them this season. I feel like they haven't had the best social game, and they've also just kind of been following along with Nadia and Iggy. So who's gonna win? Is it gonna be Iggy? Is it gonna be Nadia? I guess we'll find out. All right, on the beach, we've got alliances, the same unbreakable relationships. It is Iggy and Glenn, Spruce and Nadia, Nadia and Iggy. Now we got Iggy with a small bond toward Spruce, Spruce only with a slight bond toward Iggy, Nadia and Glenn with a slight dislike, Spruce and Glenn with a slight bond. So yeah, Nadia and Spruce are obviously going to vote for Glenn if he doesn't win immunity. But what if Glenn does win immunity? Then, like, is there a world that Iggy votes for Spruce? And so does Glenn, and then Nadia and Spruce vote for Iggy? It's possible. We could have a tie here. And honestly, we could just, like, in general, have a tie here. Because if Iggy decides to stick with Glenn and vote at Spruce with Glenn, that's 2 votes right there. I don't know. Who wins immunity? It is going to be Nadia. Good for Nadia. Honestly, I think she needs to secure the Glenn boot here for her game. I don't think she really needed this immunity, but I think it is a very strong immunity win for her here. All right, Nadia, impressing the rest of the team. Unsurprising, she just won the immunity. Everybody's like, wow, nice job, Nadia. You did great. And then Glenn is working hard at camp and he becomes tired. I think he's trying to save himself, but I really do think it's going to be him tonight. Let's go to Tribal. We got the final four here. Nadia has the necklace. Cannot be voted for tonight. Everybody else is eligible. It is time to vote. And the first vote goes to Iggy. One vote Iggy. Second vote goes to Glenn. One vote Glenn. One vote Iggy. 2 votes left. Next vote goes to Glenn. 2 votes Glenn. 1 vote Iggy. 1 vote left. And the 13th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen, 6th member of the jury. It is Glenn. Glenn, the tribe has spoken. The gnome tribe, they have been annihilated. It was kind of written in the stars. It was pretty obvious that he was going to go out here. Kind of funny that he throws a vote on Iggy on his way out. I guess he was kind of pissed off that Iggy turned on him. You know what? I appreciate the pettiness. You go, Glenn. It's a unanimous vote. Everybody votes for Glenn. Glenn votes for Iggy. And Glenn is gone. And we move on to the final 3 of the season. Iggy, Nadia, Spruce. The original Final 3 alliance, or I guess they weren't really a Final 3 alliance until the merge, but they were a trio pretty early on, thanks to Nadia. The question just remains, who's going to make it to the end and who is going to win? Is it going to be Iggy? Is it going to be Nadia? It's definitely not Spruce. We now have unbreakable relationships, Nadia and Iggy, Spruce and Nadia, and then Iggy and Spruce, they still have not bonded at all this entire season. Not sure why. So Nadia definitely locked into the final 2. The question is going to be, is Iggy going to be there or not? Because I think Iggy could beat her, whereas Nadia beats Spruce easily. Let's find out. Immunity goes to the final immunity of the season. Nadia! Wow. So it all depends on this final move. Is she going to take out Spruce? Is she going to take out Iggy? Is she going to secure her win or go into a potential loss? Let's find out on the beach here. Nadia and Spruce, they bond slightly. I think Nadia just told them that they're going to take Spruce to the end. Spruce also impressing the rest of the team. Is Iggy the fallen angel? I think so. Let's go to Tribal. We got the final 3 here. Iggy, Nadia, Spruce. Nadia, she has the necklace. And she also has the power to eliminate the final member of the jury. She casts her vote, and the 14th person voted out of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen, 7th member of the jury, is going to be Iggy. Iggy, the tribe has spoken. He was so close. He almost had it. But Nadia, she decided she wants the win. She's going to lock in the win here. I honestly think she's going to have a unanimous win. But we'll see, I guess. Fantastic endgame for Nadia here. She takes out her only opponent in the game. And as you can see, Nadia, she was for Iggy. And we'll move on to the final tribal council. Let's just crown her. We got the final 2 here. We got Nadia Kishka and Spruce Almighty. The 2 of them plead their case to the jury for why they should win. The jury, they ask their questions, then they cast their vote for their winner, and it is time to reveal the winner of Sims 4 Survivor Innisgreen. The first vote goes to Nadia. 1 vote Nadia. Second vote goes to Spruce. Okay, not a unanimous vote. We got 1 vote Nadia, 1 vote Spruce, 5 votes left. And the third vote goes to Nadia. So that is 2 votes Nadia, 1 vote Spruce. And the fourth vote goes to Spruce. We are tied. It is 2 votes Spruce, 2 votes Nadia, 3 votes left. The fifth vote goes to Nadia. We got 3 votes Nadia, 2 votes Spruce, and 2 votes left. If Nadia gets 1 more vote, she is the winner. The sixth vote goes to Nadia. Congratulations, Nadia. It is 5-2. Convincing win for Nadia. I thought it was pretty obvious final tribal council here, but I'm not mad at it. She played a great game from the get-go. And here are how the votes turned out. It is Ethrin, Glenn, Iggy, Jasmine, and Miss Hell who vote for Nadia. Princess Cordelia and Todd are the Spruce votes. I guess they didn't really like Nadia, but honestly, both of them were kind of wild cards on this season, so that's fine. The fan favorite, though, is going to go to the skeleton. You know what? The skeleton is kind of a funny character, so why not? I'm not mad at it. But there you have it. That is our season. Here's our elimination order. In 16th place, Joe Trader. In 15th, Oberon Summer Dream. In 14th, Edith. In 13th, Sephora Gomez. In 12th, Nora Loden. In 11th, The Skeleton, our fan favorite. In 10th, Karen. In 9th, Princess Cordelia. In 8th, Jasmine Holiday. In 7th, Todd Attenberry. In 6th, Miss Howell. In 5th, Athrun Reyes. In 4th, Glenn Gnome. In 3rd, our fallen angel, Icky Pancakes. Our runner-up, Spruce Almighty. And our winner, Nadia Kishka. Most immunity wins are Glenn, Iggy, Nadia, all with 2. And then we got Spruce and Todd with 1. Nadia had the most challenge win because she won 3 rewards. I think like back to back. She kind of killed it. Most votes received are Jasmine Holiday with 12. Then we got Sephora with 11. Nora, Oberon, and Princess Cordelia had 8. Then we got Nadia and the Skeleton with 7. Glenn had 6. Karen, Joe, and Miss Hell had 5. Then we got Edith and Athrun and Todd with 4. And Iggy and Spruce had 3. Nadia had 7 votes. Wait, when did Nadia get 7 votes? Oh, right, there was that one tribal where it was tied between her and somebody else. Most strategic. It is Nadia number 1. Then we got Glenn number 2. Hard disagree. And then Iggy number 3. I'm gonna move Iggy up. I'm gonna say it's Nadia, then Iggy, and then I'm gonna put Athrun number 3. I feel like he really tried to pull something off. It just didn't work out for him because he was in the minority. But I think on a different season, he would have really killed this. But there you have it. That is our season. All hail our current reigning Nadia Kishka. Fantastic win for her. And honestly, pretty fun season. I love the newbie seasons. They're so fun. Maybe I can scrounge up another newbie cast. We'll see. But as always, this series is on a little bit of a slow roll at the moment, which I'm not mad about. It's kind of fun. Kind of like doing it slow and steady. Anyway, that's the season. See you in the next one. Bye.